What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another stream. Today we found a podcast. Link will be in the chat to watch it, or we'll just leave it up here and you guys can watch it here. But it's the Dropped Frames podcast. They were joined by Will Powers, the marketing director for Pearl Abyss, and talking about Crimson Desert. So we're gonna watch as much of the podcast as Will is in it. Probably not gonna watch past it. Looks decently long, about 2 hours, and I'm really excited for what we have to watch. I want to learn more stuff. I'm also joined here by a bowl of macaroni and cheese. I will be eating my macaroni and cheese on stream because I am literally just gonna cuddle up with a blanket and watch this shit. I really don't. I really don't care. Fucking, let's do this. Where's my blanket? Where's my macaroni and cheese? Let's go. I'm so excited for this. Credit goes to these guys for getting the interview. I'm just trying to spread more awareness about Crimson Desert. So, let's go. No idea what to expect from this. Oh. And I will be subscribing to these guys to show some support. Fire mac and cheese. Just Annie's shell, but it's so good.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Dropped Frames. It's Sunday. We're here to chat. We've got a dev in the wings. We'll introduce him in just a sec. Co, I heard you fixed your mic. Let's hear it. And
Damn it.
Great.
well,
I'm sorry. Hopefully this works a lot better. I saw on the YouTube comments, and yes, I do read YouTube comments. I see you. I read on there that there was I had some weird gain issues. Turns out on my new machine, I still had the auto gain and echo cancellation, all that crap turned on. Yeah. So turn it all off and hopefully it'll sound a lot better now.
Yep.
But yeah, if you're wondering why I'm on a new mixer, yeah. This is a Rode. This is my new mixer. Or it was for about 25 minutes.
Wait, what? You're done with that?
In my frantic let's call it frantic rush to try to get it working properly. One of the things that I experimented with was a USB ground isolator. A small device, USB-C, you plug it in the back, has a little dongle, you plug in a power USB-C to that, and it clears it out. So I was at an Emberville meeting, started talking, no one could hear me. There's a bunch of people in it, like, I need to start talking. I go to behind my unit, and I'm like, and I noticed that the USB-C plug was unplugged to my gaming machine. And I was like, oh gosh, and I start frantically looking around for a USB-C plug. Picked up the power USB-C into the ground loop isolator, stuck it right. Did you know that these can smoke a little bit? Because it's interesting. Yeah, instantly shut off. Instantly, computer made the weirdest sound I've ever heard in a series of beeps that I'm sure were some language I hadn't heard, and then it won't start again. So.
I believe I can translate for you. I've heard the same sound. It's saying, "Oh God, the pain, please unplug me, the pain."
Yeah,
man.
So thankfully, I'd followed the streamer law of 2, whereas streamers, we know you always order 2 of everything.
Yeah.
So my new backup is on the way.
So we're back on the old mixer now. Is that what you're saying?
No, I had another road ready to go just in case.
Oh, I see.
So that was
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
so
it's backup to the backup is on.
So
the way.
I'm
got a
my,
backup of a
yeah,
backup,
my new backup is on the way.
Yeah.
You sometimes have to account for your own idiocy every now and then.
Yeah, that
Also,
happens.
may I ask, did you switch cameras too?
I did. I have a 4K now. So if you're wondering why
He's
I
on a
look
4K.
significantly older and more ready, that is because you were seeing me in high old definition.
I don't think so. I think you look good. You're the color is back in your cheeks and your
Oh.
lips.
Oh my!
Like,
Well, thank you so much.
You've taken some of the pale out, but now I can see the definite. Like you might want to powder like your nose. 'Cause
Dude,
the
I know.
shine.
It's the shine. Yeah, it's I don't know what's it like. I even have like low dull lights on, and it's just like I'm
Yeah.
a
No, it's
teenager
like
again with all
Gondor's
this
calling
oil.
for aid on your face right there.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
The
it
shine
is.
comes for us all. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
Still working on, like, if you notice, I still got a little bit of the green halo. It's a lot harder to do green screen on this camera for some reason.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know
when
if it's
you,
just picking up a higher spectrum or something, but
yeah,
I'm still working on that aspect of it.
yeah.
No, I will never upgrade my camera again. Now that I've seen what I look like with a good camera at Gassy Mexican's house.
Never.
Nope.
You're done. Okay.
Nope, I'm going cheap
Fair.
cameras all the way. Soap opera lighting, like it. Yeah,
Fair.
like it's like a magic trick. Like the further back I go, the younger I become because you can't see the grays. But the closer I get, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, it's like the gift. It's like the Matt
I just
Damon
can't-
movie.
I know. I just gained like 20 years, and then you go back.
Yeah, man, this
back.
camera's really
Further
making
back.
my grays stand out. You're right, Zeke. It's just it really makes my grays pop on my camera.
Normally, I saw JP yesterday at the Whataburger, and he looks like 20 at maybe.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Exactly. Fair
Wow,
enough.
what cameras do? It's really crazy.
Cameras are wild, guys. I mean, I'm not even wearing a
I mean,
green
you know what they
shirt
say?
right now.
They add 40 years. That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what they all say.
That is what they all say. It's an old adage in the show. In the business
Only
of
the
show.
professionals
Yes.
know. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. What's the cat saying? Oh my God! Look at that cat.
He's just taking his place.
Wait, how much of a jump is that? Is that like a 4-foot jump? What are we doing here?
Yes, best solid 3.5, 4 foot jump.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
that's the way it gets on every day.
Great.
Yeah. This
Fantastic.
is probably going to go pretty soon though, because he's the only one using it now. So it's really big.
Oh.
We think we're gonna have to find another solution or something. I need to find like a custom cat tower guy, and I want to like build like something right there on the wall. 'Cause There's a wall right there.
I don't know if a custom. That's probably not a person.
I would.
Oh,
I
it's
would
a
think
person.
I think that's a thing. Custom cat towers.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's. I mean, like woodworking, and I bet there.
You probably have to go
It's for
Etsy
sure, I
or
think.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, I haven't really looked too hard. I'm
Yeah.
sure they're out there.
Yeah. Well, anyways, with this thrilling conversation, let's bring in our guest to save the show.
Yeah.
Old Will Johnson. No, what's your middle name? John, Jimmy. I got nothing.
It's Josephus.
Oh, I
It's,
was like, what? What is
No, I
it?
think it's like Homer Simpson. I think it's actually just Jay.
Oh,
like Jay. Why?
Exactly.
okay.
No,
I always thought it
some,
was Wilge Powers.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's a family name exactly.
There you go. Yeah, family.
No,
name.
some jerk AP photographer took Will Powers on all the socials, so I had to be
Oh.
inventive and throw in a middle initial.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Those
Well,
guys
he's got a new
known
title
jerks.
as of this week, guys. He specifically was like, JP, you need to change my title. Okay. I'm no longer the director of PR. I'm the director of marketing. Please change the title. So congrats, I guess, first off.
Oh, thanks.
As
Yeah,
we rub it
it's,
in your face a little bit.
yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's we had to adjust the font size in order to make it fit, but
That's true. Yes. No, the fonts were much smaller. Here on you got a long title. You got a long title for Old Will Powers. No, let's have a quick rundown. You're here to talk about a game that kind of has like this. I want to say it's been building up hype for a pretty long time. It's one of those things that we saw. When did y'all first show this? Was that 2 years back, 3 years back?
November of 2019.
Okay, that's like
7 years back. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
we don't need to math that. We don't need to.
Yeah. So overall that's why I'm here. So this game has gone through a couple lives, even genre switches. I mean, Co, you're in game dev now. You can understand there's when it was announced, it was a different game. It was an MMORPG. It was a prequel to Black Desert. Through development, it really came into its own. But not only development for the game, the devs made an engine, a brand new next generation engine to build this game as well as future games on top of. So you can't really say it's been in development for this amount of time, because that's not truly accurate. We also made an engine then. But going back to what you said, JP, I think it's really important, because we were pretty quiet for about 5 years on the game because it was changing what it was. Now we're really pulling back the curtain, and it's time to talk about what the game is. That's why I'm excited to actually talk about it.
Yeah.
On that note, if you could finish that journey. So it started as an MMORPG, transition, changed, amalgamated into what exactly do you guys classify it as it now?
Yeah, so genre's tough, because then there's a lot of connotations with specific genres, and that's why like we'll get stuck on the developers don't want to call this an RPG, because we have an MMORPG, and with the term RPG come a lot of connotations around character creator, specific experience points and leveling systems and stuff like that. Those as players would expect them are absent from this game. However, there are a absolute ton of RPG elements. So I think that's why genre becomes a really tough thing, because everyone has their connotations with it. So open world is the prevailing genre. This is probably the truest sense of an open world game I've ever played. And then the combat is very much inspired by arcade fighting games, as well as combo driven, and even like think almost platinum games to a certain extent. So there's a lot of different influences coming into this. So putting it in pigeonholing into one genre isn't the best fit. So open world action adventure ish, but open world is the prevailing thing.
It sounds like Co has never knew someone who was in a band. Like, hey, what kind of music do you guys play? It's like, oh man, we cannot be held in by the box of definitions here. You don't ask that, man. You don't ask.
It's Scott.
Kind of like a Tom York Metallica vibe, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, so that actually brings up some really interesting questions. Well, if you don't mind, if just segueing real quick. So
no, of course. So just overall, ask me anything. Like I said at the beginning, we're pulling back the curtain. Like, this is the time to talk about the game. If I can't answer a question, that's on me. That's not on you guys. So ask me whatever you want.
Love to hear that.
So on that note, I definitely thought this was like a single player like RPG. That's what I was thinking, like an RPG. So is there an inventory? Am I picking up loot? Am I equipping different gear?
Yes. So there is an inventory system. It's not like ARPG, like loot drops and rolls, like you'd expect with the Diablo style or something like that. Gear is a very important part of this game, but there's a lot of unique gear within the world. And that unique gear is either obtained from bosses, from blueprints you acquire from around the world, from you crafting and upgrading, or finding within the world itself. So the loot that's dropped from random enemies is more of think of it as a currency or resource based mechanic. But it's still, that goes into your inventory system, and you have a cap on the slots in your inventory that you can alter based on what you do in the game.
Okay. And just to kind of check box it, kind of from the genre description from the beginning. So there's a skill system in regaining experience as well, kind of.
There is a skill tree that we've shown a tiny bit of, and you gain different what are called abyss artifacts through different things. You're losing my bit rate a tiny bit.
Yeah, your audio is still good though.
We can still hear you just fine.
Yeah. So there are abyss artifacts that you obtain through a variety of mechanics, whether they're found in the open world, you get them from bosses, or from simply killing random enemies. to obtain these abyss artifacts, and you use those to unlock different nodes on the skill tree. So they're not. It's not strictly experience points in the traditional sense, which is why we don't want to call them that. And in an RPG sense, you're not putting them into stat points. Instead, what you're doing is unlocking the progression of the type of character that you want to play as.
Okay, so that brings up a question for me personally. If you're trying to get these, what do you call them? Artifact what?
Abyss artifacts.
Abyss artifacts. There you go. If you're trying to get an abyss artifact and an enemy has it and you're having a really tough time, like, what do you do to like upgrade yourself to take on this guy to get that abyss artifact? If there's no experience.
That's the beauty of it being an open world.
Okay.
There's no progression gating in the sense of I just need to get good in order to do this.
That's
If
really
you
nice.
don't want to do that specific boss, or I mean, maybe it's a crit path boss, then you do need to progress that in order to progress the crit path itself. However, you can just leave. You can do something else. You can upgrade your weapon. You can do side questing. You can find different things in order to make that fight easier for you. And that's something that I think is really interesting. Because when people see the boss fights in this game, they immediately think Souls-like. This is not a Souls-like game, because Souls-like again has connotations and has specific definitions of narrow dodge windows, things like that. This is much more combo driven, and you kind of dictate the pace of the fight. So there's no get good moment. There are definitely skill checks, and like you have to have a certain amount of in order to beat this boss. Like this will be a little bit harder in a progression standpoint. But if you can't do that and how your character is at that time, you can get additional buffs from food in camp. You can grind a bunch more consumables to make the fight easier for you. You can find a blueprint for an item that lets you revive in a fight.
Whoa.
To get an extra second shot
That's
while
cool.
maintaining the same, and you can craft multiple of those.
Oh wow.
So you can
Totems of a 9? Question mark.
over prepare and make any fight accessible to you. Does that mean
Okay.
the game's easy? Hell no. But I think that it allows that layer of accessibility, so you're never hard stuck, which I think is really, really important in the single player game.
Yeah, that was the answer I wanted, was like, if you come up against something that you can't do, and since there's like the experience points is not like a thing, you go out, explore, gear up, come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if it's side content, you don't have to if you don't want to.
But I want to.
So
Come on, dude. Are you saying like you go up against a boss that just whoops your ass and you're just like, forget about it. No big deal. I'm not.
He's not a streamer, Zeke. He doesn't have the same ego as us, okay?
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
so are we picking or changing classes throughout the course of the game, or is everyone's kind of playing the same character?
It is so it's a very good question. It's your class. You're choosing your play style, but
That's one thing I was wondering is what our class is. Do you need certain requirements to wield certain weapons? That's one thing I hope gets answered in this.
is the one central protagonist that you're playing as, Cliff, who has specific move sets and everything. But through progression in the main storyline, you do unlock 2 additional playable characters. They're not strictly class-based, so I don't want to do that narrow definition of them. However, they do have very different move styles, different equipment that they can equip, that adds variety to gameplay. So you're seeing Cliff on screen right now, but there's Damien who has a pistol as well as a long musket, and a rapier that she fights with. And then there's Unka, who's an orc with a 2-handed axe, who's a really big brute. So they all have very specific move sets. They're all individually mocapped. So there's a whole different feel and personality and everything that goes with those different playable characters.
Awesome.
I'm seeing a lot of, or at least a few people asking about difficulty options. Is there difficulty
Yes.
option?
Yeah, let's talk about that. And again, that answer has kind of changed over the years, so it's good to clear up any misconceptions about that. That's one of the hardest things about this game and it being announced a long time ago is through official channels, we had communicated certain things previously. Some of those things are no longer true as the game changed. So this is one of those things. So let's actually use this opportunity to set the record straight on this one. At this point, there is no difficulty settings. There is a single difficulty curve for the game. And that actually plays into the set, not scaling difficulty of enemies within the world. So think about that as like you're able to, if you get stuck on an encounter, you're able to over prepare and scale up past it. So that's what that allows you to do within the world. Again, this game is it's not meant to be incredibly easy. It's not meant to be incredibly hard. It's meant to have variety of content and give you a ton of options within the world. I think looking at it from a holistic standpoint, kind of the guiding principle that the developers, I talk about a lot about the developers as in this secondary group because there's the dev team and then we're the publishing team. So I want to be clear, like I'm not hitting the zeros and the ones and coding the game myself. I imagine the zeros and the ones as like a DK bongo drum.
That's accurate.
That's how they do it. That's
Yeah,
accurate.
That's how
accurate,
games
yeah.
are coded.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows
One
that.
group has the one has the zero, and they just
Yeah, and it's just like they're jamming. They have their own band.
Yep.
So publisher side, we take all of that, assimilate all that information, and push it out and make the game publishable. So I want to be clear about that definition for those that aren't. However, so the world as itself, like it's this massive world that the variety of content in like is dictated by the devs just want the content to be fun. Anything that you do within the world, whether it's distractions, whether it's having the gameplay be fun is the guiding principle, which is really cool. I think that a lot of games have gotten away from that. So having that being kind of the central through note of all this variety of content, just we're trying to make something fun is just really refreshing.
So
Dude,
seeing
that shit right there, that shot right there with the flying.
yeah, dude. Well, seeing these videos and
That was
just to
cool.
kind of throw in a little bit here, I think myself and many others have seen some of these preview videos and just gone like there is so much in these games. Like
Yeah.
there's so many different mechanics. There's so like there was at one point in one of these trailers where there was like 5 or 6 back-to-back things, and each one of those could have been its own game. And it's just like flipping through them like cards. So my question to you is, like, were you in the room or did you just hear about later when the scope guy got fired from the project? The guy that, like, stands up and says, no, we can't do that. That's out of scope. When he got canned, were you there or was that like a find out later?
Well, that guy never existed.
That
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Well, because
Okay.
and I think that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this game actually, like having its heritage in a studio that is known for making live service games and is known for making MMORPGs. In terms of content, in terms of scale, in terms of feature set, that's our only point of comparison internally. So if you look at this, like this is a wholly single player game and is meant to be, there's ways that you make and structure the quests and the world itself very, very differently to adapt to a single player experience versus a multiplayer experience. So very, very different once the course changed from a multiplayer to a single player experience. However, from a feature set comparison, I think that's a real benefit coming from that DNA as a studio, being able to pull from of like, oh, well, we could do that over there. Why can't we do it here as well? just because it's a single player game. Why can't we have all those features? Why can't we? Why can't we? Why can't we?
I love that line
And
of thinking.
instead of that being a prohibitive factor of feature creep, that's just becomes now a benefit of the studio DNA of, well, we already know how to do that. Why can't we just do that here as well? That system's already created. Let's just do it within this new engine. And now you have these additional mocap characters, these different playable characters. You have character dyes and customizations, things that people that play Black Desert will say, oh, that looks familiar to me. Not identical, but that looks familiar. You're seeing that DNA transferred over and appear in a new way. So that's where I think like it becomes really cool to have this game that was something else become something new and really lean into it.
That makes a lot of sense with the variety and
Yeah.
how that's actually like possible to do because it seems,
Right, because-
it seems crazy. Like just how like you just casually
Yeah.
throw housing in there, like a full full
Well,
building
like town
city thing. It's just,
management.
yeah, like a town. Like it's wild how much seems to be in this game.
Mhm.
Following that kind of DNA line you were talking about, the
Yeah.
DNA of this is kind of an MMO, which definitely has a completely different flavor of monetization. What are you guys doing with this game? Are we going to see like a cash shop in here and stuff? Like how is that going to work with
No,
this?
this is so yeah. Thank you for asking that. This is a premium game. You buy one time, and I don't want to say that there's zero MTX because there are pre-order bonuses that we have, but anything that's announced and coming at launch is strictly cosmetic. Like there's like those are just the pre-order bonuses. This is not
So not like a cosmetic cash shop on release kind of thing.
no, like
Yeah,
I can
hey,
say
James,
that
money, how you
definitively.
doing,
There
buddy?
is not a cosmetic cash shop. This is made to be a premium experience that you buy and you enjoy the world and not something for microtransactions.
I love
Awesome.
that.
Awesome.
Absolutely
That's
fantastic.
it's a monetization model. Like if you do free to play, then you need to make up the revenue in a different way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is a premium experience. That is the transaction. Like full stop.
Fantastic. That's
Awesome.
excellent. On that note, one of the cornerstones of this project is kind of the large world to explore and kind of. So from a design perspective, I had kind of two questions. One, does this game feature a fully breadcrumbed main story that's going to take you around the world to the like important places? And is there an ending with credits kind of thing?
Yes. Yeah. There's
Awesome.
there's a through line, and like obviously there's their main quest, main storyline, critical path, etc. That's going to take you throughout the world. You play as that central protagonist, Cliff. The elevator pitch of the story is you are a member of this clan, the Greymanes, and they are for practical purpose, they're the good guys. They're the protectors of this region called Payloon. Their enemies, the Black Bears, at the beginning of the game, destroy them and kick them and burn their countryside, their region. So all the Greymanes are scattered throughout the world. That's kind of the premise of the start of the story of you're trying to reunite and establish a new home for your faction in a different region that you're not familiar with.
Is that the home you're building? In
Yeah.
the like, oh
Yeah.
damn. Oh, so you're actually building your home.
You are
That's awesome.
literally reestablishing your faction within the world, and you're building them up again, both physically as well as metaphorically. That's the very, very high level premise. And then you start seeing some things that are bigger than that. And then that takes you through a wild ride around the world through this bigger chaos that's kind of ensuing.
Excellent. So on that note, the second part of this question, first of all, just as a sideway, is the whole world handcrafted? What I mean, what,
That's
what,
very-
let me refine
that's
that
a-
question a bit.
Yeah.
let me refine the
I
question
want
a
you
bit.
to
Are we
define
gonna-
that a little bit more. There's like the
Is
world
this-
is very large, so I don't want to say every single stone is hand placed. Like I want to be
Is-
very clear about that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Is this kind of like a Tainted Grail experience, Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon, where it's like there's lots of POIs concentrated in a small area? Or is this more of a KCD2 experience where there's long open plains where you're traveling great distances between POIs kind of thing?
It's in between the two. There's heavy concentration in towns within the world, and there are several towns and cities within the world. But the entire area is filled with little corners to be able to explore, to be able to have things. The another just kind of like anecdote about the how the devs crafted this world is they wanted it to be a world full of distractions. So when you set a quest marker, when you
Oh God.
when you go into the map, you're like, okay, X there. I'm gonna go over there. They want you to be distracted along the way because this is very much they didn't build a game, they built a world is really the thought. If you think about it from that sense, then everything, the systems and everything start to make a lot more sense. They want you to get lost in this, they want you to get distracted in this, and most importantly, they want you to have fun in what you're doing in the variety of content.
Very cool.
So I worked on KCD1, so that became a really difficult question about like, I'm like, specifically every single thing is hand placed in that this, like, because of the size and scope of this world and everything, like it's absolutely massive. There's density in specific areas, but there's also variety in the corners too. So there is a reason to explore the entirety of the map.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you right now that I am going to go. I'm gonna target a rock, and I'm gonna find the match of that rock out in the world, and I'm going to be upset with you for that.
The funny thing is like,
I was planning to do the same.
Okay.
yeah, the funny thing is like, when I play this game, like one of the things that I've done is just like look at the horizon line and like instead of looking at the map, looking in game and seeing something and just going there. Like you just see something, like you see a little tower or something on a hillside and be like, I wonder what's there. It's in the fog of war on the map. I can't even see it on the map, but I could see it in the world. So I'm going to go there. And inevitably something's there. It's an encounter, it's a treasure, it's something that I might not even have a quest for yet.
That actually brings up a really important thing for me, and I'm not like trolling or joking, but traversal.
Yeah.
Traveling, because
Yeah.
big worlds require fast traveling. Talk about it, please.
Oh, so just choose your adventure, Zeke. Do you want a horse? Do you want
Yes.
dragon? Do you
I
want
feel like
I
I'm a
saw
part of the
dude
dev
hold
team
Double yes.
because I'm like,
I
wait,
saw a dude
I know where that
holding a
video
propeller.
is.
Yeah.
yeah,
Was
so
that-
that's Damien. So all the character, or I don't want to say, I'm trying very carefully to not make universal claims about things that I don't know. I haven't played enough Azunka. I don't know if he has an aerial traversal personally. So I don't want to make that universal claim about all the characters have this because I don't know myself. I haven't played enough as him. But so as Cliff, he has crow's wings. You see it in one of the videos. White Crow, who's a witch within the world, gives him this power, his ability to float and glide with crow's wings. Damien has another power herself, that umbrella or propeller, in order to hover or propel herself forward while in the air. So traversal within the world is very, very important, especially with a world that has the size and scale of this one, and a world that's not flat. When there's verticality to the world, it becomes important about how you get to that verticality. Whether it's climbing,
grappling hook.
yeah. So there's grappling hook, there's rock climbing on almost any surface in the game. Those are the wings that I was talking about right there, to be able to fly above the world. There's a mech.
There's a mech.
Dwarven technology. Yeah. So and then of course you have your dragon that you can fly in. Instead of saying like this is a grounded RPG, think of it like a power fantasy so these things are going to be within the world. So you see these machines right here. They're within the world, but if you get the mech, if you get the dragon, like those are going to be very, very powerful things. So balance becomes important. These are late or like mid to late game editions. So it's not meant to be something that can just overpower the world. It's meant to be as a reward for your investment.
Okay.
I actually love that because one of the things that keeps me playing a game is the ability to unlock things. But that gives a goal to go to, because sometimes I'll get tired of a game, and then I'll be like, ugh, do I have to grind for this? Do I have to grind for that? And then I'll just stop playing the game. That's what I did with Elden Ring. I'm like, I'm fucking done grinding this shit. Like, I've just been killing bosses and monsters. I don't know how to do this. I don't want to cheat it, but I also am not going to put in the effort. So, like, fuck you guys. Make things easier. This guy, he seems to be, like, freaking smart, so I love it.
No, it's just like for something as big as this, like, not to bring up another game, but like the best decision Elden Ring or FromSoft ever made was giving you a horse, and that is, I just wanted to make sure that for someone who, like, I don't know, 400, 500 hours in Elden Ring, like just exploring every little nook and cranny, like that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to do it without it feeling tedious.
And again, I'm biased, obviously, working on the game, but in my personal experience, like, I really like how we did fast travel points. I really, really, really like it. They're a reward for exploration. So here you see him flying into this area, and then something pops out. You discover something. This becomes a fast travel point. It wasn't flagged. It wasn't a reward for killing a boss even. Like, you found it within the world, and as a reward for your exploration, you're able to move around the world more. So they're not these things that are centralized in towns. They're these rewards for really looking around the world itself.
So are these things you have to find, or if you get close enough, do they get marked on your map or anything? Or
certain things have like fog war indicators, but like they're not. It's not just completely easy to miss. But even with the fog of war indicators, you need to. It's a large enough area that you need to find it. So that's, you know, that something's there.
Yeah.
You don't know necessarily where within that region to look.
So if you come upon an area and you're like, there should be a fast travel point here, there usually is. Is what I'm saying.
The indicator on the map for like fog of war for fast travel points is like, you know, it's a fast travel point. Is there. Cool. You just then you start looking.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. I have had this question a few times in chat, and it's important to, I'm sure important to a lot of people, as far as like optimization for not beastie machines.
Yes.
I
have let me give the answer that I have given multiple times, and then I'll give you a better answer. But the answer like that I've given multiple times, like, it still holds true. So, and I'm looking at you, Co, as you're working on a game yourself. Optimization is usually the last phase of right before release, and it's incredibly important. We are being very careful about not releasing numbers until we're able to audit those numbers and verify those. It's like, so we've shown a ton of footage on PC. We've shown footage on PlayStation 5 Pro as part of State of Play, not this one from last week, but the previous one. So there is footage on console out there, but I do understand, and not just me, the entire team understands that's incredibly important to have those specs so that you know how the game's going to run on your machine. So we're guaranteeing that we're going to release those specs before the game comes out, so that people will have.
I can respect that.
Will be able to make the decision for themselves based on that while they can still pre-order. So we will.
Here's my thing though. So you're on your own engine. Even if it's 30 FPS, if you can get a consistent 30, but the specs of this game are not insane. I'm convinced we'll be able to get a stable 60 FPS because I've done a couple videos on it, and my laptop is close enough to the requirements for Starfield that I've been playing Starfield, and the requirements for Crimson Desert and Starfield are very close. They're both open world games. They both have big open places, and I can run Starfield fine on my gaming PC / laptop, whatever you want to call it. So I refuse to believe that this company is going to drop shitty frame rates on Xbox. So I went ahead and pre-ordered the game. I'm going to be very, very sad if it doesn't work and I waste $70, but I doubt it. I respect that they're keeping their optimization and their numbers silent, because if they didn't, a bunch of people, like, say right now they're doing something and they test it at 60 FPS consistent. They've been doing that for a few weeks. They release a number and they say you're going to get 60 FPS, and then something comes along in the development that changes one or two things, everything crumbles, and then now you have to backtrack. You have to print a retraction saying, hey, I know we said 60. I know a lot of you probably bought this game, but it's actually going to be reading at 30 FPS. I'm sorry. So the fact they're keeping their lips shut on this, I don't love it, but I understand it and I respect it.
We're working on something. And I think people are going to be excited when they see how this game runs.
Kind of a side question to the technical stuff. Have you guys announced any kind of like de novo or any other DRM that you're using?
No, we haven't announced anything at this point.
Okay, cool.
And personally, I'm not aware of anything, but that, again, like, that doesn't mean anything. So sorry, that's a non-answer on that one, but I can't say anything definitively on that. I'm just not aware.
No problem.
Cool. It's been really interesting because I've been following the game for a while now, and you guys have been putting out these weekly videos and this like series that you've been doing. And one of the and I'm sure you've seen this as well, one of the most common statements is this game's either going to be the best game of all time with all this crazy stuff in it, or everything's going to be like very top level and not have that much depth to it. What do you like? How do you answer that? How do you answer to that?
I think, like anything, expectation setting is incredibly important, because we're showing all these features that you can do in this world. And if you understand that the guiding principle for the world and how all these features play into each other is how do we make a fun system and fun world to be able to have variety of content in, then like I think people will be really excited. But it's to answer your specific question.
I mean, it's an unfair question to ask.
But like to answer your specific question, like
marketing. Hey, your game's not going to be the best game ever, right?
I dislike the comment about these are going to be shallow systems, because all of these systems are engineered to interweave within like together with other systems. So by definition, that's not shallow. Like, because of how the mining and the crafting and all of those work within each other, and that changes gear leveling, and that changes power leveling, and that changes how you scale within the world, your character. All of those things play within each other. So by definition, like even that system existing, it's not shallow. So I kind of don't like that question as a whole, because I don't think any system, like other games, like make whole games on one system, and we'll never have the depth of that, because that's an entire game built on that. But I also don't want to say that say the systems are incredibly shallow, because they're not. Like there's a happy medium here, and that happy medium is that these systems play well with each other to create a cohesive system set that affects the world itself.
Okay.
So it's like it's a tough question, but it's like it's one that I don't mind answering, because people still have, like, we're only showing what we want to show still.
I
Like,
totally
we're
thought they were force choking each other for a second. I was very confused. I'm sorry.
oh, the rock paper
They were
scissors
playing-
game with
Yeah,
the
they're
kid.
playing Russian roulette, dude. Come on.
It's a child code.
Hey, you said it's a sandbox game. I don't know what you've been doing in your game, Will.
This,
I don't know what for you guys.
I told you this guy's a good guy. He's not Anakin. He's not going into the Jedi temple.
How evil can you be, Will?
That's a good question. Let's go with that one, actually. Like fake question, but I like it.
I want to do an evil run. Can I do that?
So we
that a
introduce a crime. We introduce a crime system, and there are things like that within the game. I think what's really cool is, again, like, it's not in RPG in the sense of like you're still like, your character motivation is you're the good guys. Doesn't, like, you can make those decisions, and you can actually be rewarded for those play styles that you choose. You can have gear that complements your play styles, additional attack level based on your negative notoriety or wanted system. Like there's layers of that stuff within the game to actually complement and reward people that want to play in that specific play style. Would I recommend like a full playthrough in that play style? I don't know. It's like, it's not, the choices aren't that grand, but does it give you the ability to have those decisions impact and have it be a choice that you want to make to, I need additional like attack on this boss. I'm going to get a crazy wanted level and see if that can spike my power to be able to do this. Yeah.
Oh,
That's something that like you can play around with in the systems in the world, and it might work. So I think it's less of a singular playthrough of like good, bad, or Han Solo. I think it's like, how do you want to craft your play style for that individual moment?
Very cool. You mentioned the 3 different characters.
Yes.
Is that something like Neo 3, you press a button and just go between them kind of thing? Or is it more you're making like conscious decisions to play each one at the time, going to a hub, or how does that work?
There are some specific things that we are still leaving to be discovered.
Cool. Okay.
And
Spoilers.
so this, like, you hit one of the questions that we're leaving for later moments. But I mean, that's because we still have, 32 days, but who's counting? Until the game comes out. And we're doing a media and creator event between now and then.
ooh, love that.
We need stuff to be able to talk about and show. We're there, so we're still holding certain cards to be able to do big reveals of those things.
I can't wait.
I want to be very clear, because one of the criticisms we've seen online is, oh my God, they're showing so much. They're spoiling everything. Fair. But also, when you think about the design principle and the systems and everything and the DNA of the studio, I guarantee you we're not showing 100% of any one system even. Like we're holding cards too, and I don't. And especially like on the story side, like we're being very, very conscious of not spoiling the single player journey for anyone playing the game.
And do yourself a favor and go to crimsondesert.pearlabyss.com. Is that correct? I'm hoping that's correct. I'm on that page.
Just Google Crimson Desert.
And go to their media section, and you will be inundated with information and videos and all kinds of stuff. I had no idea there was so much out there already.
Yeah, I mean there are. Let's see. Because some of the assets are from when this was a different game. I think that from Gamescom 2024 and forward is fair. So we released 50 minutes of B-roll from then. We released so at that point, and this has changed. So don't definitively look at any gameplay and say this is going to be the one-to-one experience of when I play the game. That's not fair to do for any game, and as a publisher, you wouldn't want to do that because you'd ruin it for everyone else. But we want to give you a taste. So 50 minutes of B-roll from early game there. There's probably, once we did another 30 minutes with IGN first. There are hours of actual gameplay out there. And then
I've actually
we
seen
released
like
a whole
2 or 3 hours of it.
almost chapter of the game as part of Summer Game Fest and Gamescom and TGS and PAX West. So there's content from that chapter, not the whole thing because we had it down so people could actually play it, but there's dozens of hours of actual gameplay out there on the internet, and that's only a small percentage of the game itself, which is crazy to say.
Moving to a different tack. Personally, I like games that have, I don't know, I'm just gonna say like a D&D term, like a charisma stat, like
Sure.
as far as like talking to other people in the world and stuff like that. Do you have like I just want to talk about like RPG dialogue stuff? Like, is there dialogue choices? Is there like a wheel that you choose from? Is there like, do your choices matter? Is it more linear? Like, talk about like the RPG.
How much RPG is in this not RPG?
And I think that
yeah,
so
I'm with you.
that's one of the areas where this is really not an RPG.
Okay.
Because it's so character choice in terms of interaction with NPCs and stuff, especially like main storyline, those decisions are fixed. This is a fixed main story that you're progressing through. The RPG and the character choice elements come from how you create your character and what sort of build and like what sort of play style that you are actually RPing as your specific character within the world, not necessarily dialogue wheel choices. So do I do this? Do I help them? How did I approach this specific situation? Did I kill the guy and get the item? Did I buy it from him? Did I sneak in? Like, there are choices that you can make, but it's not a dialogue.
Okay.
And like,
I was curious if there was like,
Yeah.
wheedling and convincing and charming, and that brings up another question as far as romance goes.
there are no like individual like charisma or like you have stat points, not skill points. So like you have your HP, you have your stamina, and you have your mana, and you have your MP. That you can dump things in, like the core pillars of like the character that you're building, and then you have individual like skills within that that you can unlock, but it's not within that. It's not D&D. Like this is, you're not rolling you're not doing a dex saving roll.
That's nice.
I'm fine with that. I was just curious, like how much charm I would need if necessary.
Yeah, I mean, this like there are, whether it's Ultima, whether it's Baldur's, like there are a multitude of different games built on the D&D system. This is not built on the D&D system.
Right. Okay.
In terms of the size, we've heard many times kind of how vast and large this experience is. What kind of gameplay time are you guys ballparking? And I mean like very ballparking. But like, is this a 30-hour game or is this like a 100-hour game?
You're going to spend a lot of time in this world. I'm
He sounds exhausted.
going to do the thing where I will refuse to give an hour. I will be consistent in my response on that one. And that's, I'll explain it though. Like, just because there's no answer I can give that will make people happy. And if I give a large number, then that'll scare away the people that don't have a lot of time. If I give like the crit path number, then there might be some people that are just like, oh my God, well, I'm going to do an hours per dollar gameplay calculation, and that's not enough for me. So there's no answer that I can give that's going to be acceptable to everyone. So I'm just refusing to give an answer.
I love that answer. That's the exact answer I would give. If I was like the PR guy for this, I'd be like, yeah, there's every playthrough is different. I'm not going to give you a concrete number because what I do in the world may be less than what you do in the world. So I love that answer.
The game's big.
That's what she said.
This is a big game, Co. And I think that the one caveat I want to put there is this doesn't require like 4, 5, 6 hour time sessions if you want to have fun in the world. That's something that's been unique for me in the several hundred hours that I've played it across multiple builds. So don't read into that, internet. So I can have 1 hour and still have a lot of fun. I'm choosing what I want to do. Do I want to progress the main storyline? Do I want to progress side quests? Do I want to mine and find resources? Do I want to just explore the open world? I can have a lot of fun no matter how much time that I have to play the game, which that's actually, sad to say, pretty unique in an open world game to be able to have that choice about length of gameplay, because a lot of times they require a specific amount of time investment to even get into the world.
Okay. So you're saying the main story is drastically short, but you have the side quests. You can do
I'm leaving.
So yeah, if you get okay, it's not okay. So I take that answer and I'll go okay, but I'm like, so how long's the main story? How long's total exploration? How long? No, but it's
Yeah,
I see where you're coming from. From a marketing perspective, that answer makes a whole lot of sense. It doesn't.
But it's not even within that. It's like no one plays Crit Path. So like we showed in this latest feature, we showed the quiet moments. We showed the life skills. We showed if you want to really invest, you can do farming in your camp, and you can raise the crops and raise the animals that then you can slaughter and harvest to turn into food to feed you. If you want, you can very easily spend hundreds, if not thousands of hours in this game. But that's all player choice. Does that mean that that's a requirement in order to play this game? No. Are the systems there in order to allow for that? Oh my God, yes. We've built a world, not a game. I go back to that.
Love that.
If you want to, there are the systems that are set up to allow you to just spend time here.
So on that note, in a quick two-parter, how does the day-night cycle work? And is there a global time thing that's also moving forward? Are we going to see seasons and stuff?
Day-night. So there is a day-night system in the game. I don't want to say a specific number because I don't know if it's changed. It's changed multiple times, but I don't want to say it's 1 second per minute. But there is a global day-night cycle for the game, which is actually really cool, especially at night, because it's also a panning and moving skybox. You see, not the Milky Way because this isn't Earth, but you see what would be akin to the Milky Way moving and panning through the sky. The game has that attention to detail. It's really, really gorgeous.
Love that.
And then things like altitude come into play when it comes to weather. It comes to things like that. So day-night cycle matters in more than cosmetics, which is cool. There aren't seasons in the game, to my knowledge. I'm gonna say no. I haven't seen them in my experience, but as we all know, sometimes devs put things in the game that not everyone knows about. But I haven't seen them.
it does look like there's biomes though.
Oh yeah, totally. So it's not you progress to day 30. It's not Stardew Valley where day 30 and then you're into autumn and then you're into
Right.
it's not that by any means. These are there's a day-night cycle that changes things, but beyond that, then there's not, okay, I've spent 30 days, now I'm into like another season. The biomes or the regions look drastically different, and that becomes really cool because it feels like you've progressed when you're in a different area. So Paloon, which is the home of the Grey Mains, like you see there's a lot more, it looks like there's a lot more reds and redwood in that area, like from a color scheme standpoint. The fauna is different in those regions, like so you see the devs have made these bespoke in terms of the nature of the fauna, the animals, the NPCs, like that are within those regions, to make them feel like different regions, feel like different cultures. To make like this be a world that feels like a world. And when you go back to the DNA of the studio of creating these worlds, like that are meant to spend all this amount of time in, it starts to make sense. So that's whenever anyone says like there are so many systems or there's so many things, like how can this work? It's like, just look at what the devs know. Look at the heritage there, and they're taking that and applying to this single player experience.
You mentioned
Sure.
we were talking about like biomes and whatnot. Is there any underwater stuff, like points of interest, or can you
Nothing
swim
that we've talked-
underwater? Okay.
Nothing that we've talked about so far. So
Okay, fair enough.
That's fair.
there are like, and this is going to piss off our Discord who's been hammering me for this one. There are ships in the game. You can go to them.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you if you can sail them or not, but you can go to them.
There you go.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of questions about sailing
Oh, yeah,
and low
Yeah.
and
Turns
high
out-
tides and all this stuff.
Yeah. Well,
They
that's,
all have super anchors. Oh man,
Yeah.
bummer. They
well,
don't
that's
know.
that's their own
They all
fault. They
have
spelled
super-
naval wrong when they asked the question.
There you go.
Oh, my.
Hey, spelling mistakes are easy. Zeke knows all about it, you know.
Before we move too far from kind of the world immersion, weather. Can you talk a
Yeah.
little bit about the weather system and how that kind of works in the game?
Yeah, it's dynamic. It calculates based on the weather patterns in the world, and as well as the temperature. Like if so you see in the B-roll that's happening on the bottom left, like the Celsius temperature right there, that's calculated based on elevation, based on weather cycles of time of day, and then if the calculations for wind and precipitation like have rain or snow based on that, then you see that be calculated it's all happening in real time. Like this is a really cool thing that is possible because of the engine that the team has made. So all of these things are just happening and being calculated naturally in real time, which makes this feel like a really alive and world that you're interacting and living in.
So the winds are howling.
Yes.
Some
Howling winds.
some
Howling
places.
winds. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it depends on. Well, here, I'll get into some fun stuff. This is the annoying thing about demoing this game. I can run the same demo. So like at like Summer Game Fest, like we had four stations, and we ran for 3 days, every hour on the hour, like nonstop. So there were like 96 appointments. Just back to back nonstop, no breaks. It calculates the weather and the temperature and everything bespoke every time. So every demo is different.
Yeah.
Just like we're like, oh, we get good weather, we get bad weather. Like if I wanted to show off the skybox, it's like, oh well, it's a cloudy day. Crap. So it makes this like, that's the beauty as a player, but it's the annoying thing as showing off this game is like there's not consistency in the same giving the same demo. And that's one thing that I've seen online is like as the internet does, they'll compare screenshots from the same boss fight or the same thing that we've shown off previously. They're like, oh, the graphics have changed. It's like, actually, that's all of our cutscenes are rendered in engine based on time of day. So that's just lighting.
That's crazy.
So you can.
That basically means that if you play through, you're never gonna have the same exact playthrough. I mean, normally you wouldn't, but the stuff that's normally the same, lighting, temperature, whatever you want to call it, the stuff that's normally the same in, like, say, Dying Light, it's not gonna be the same. You're not gonna be like, yeah, same time of day, same wind. It's like, I really like that.
You can have the same boss encounter, and if you do it at night or if you do it during the day, like the lighting is completely
So
different.
it could be like
changes
during
whole
the
mood of it.
day, totally clear, or at night when it's pouring rain. Like
Yes,
completely
100%.
different vibes. In
That's
100%.
encounters.
I love
And
that.
that
That's
can
cool.
really influence your perception of that as a player.
Hmm.
Does it have gameplay implications? Probably not. I mean, it might be harder to see at night in certain instances, but is it just cool and atmospheric? Yeah. It's not disruptive and break immersion of changing the time of day to a set time just because you entered a boss fight.
Got it.
So somebody asked a question that I'll ask, kind of like the umbrella question. So somebody said,
Sure.
can you increase the size of the font on the screen? And that's going to lead me to my next question. Like, how is accessibility in this? Like, what are you guys thinking in terms of that? How much can we change and everything?
UI, there's a UI slider. I haven't messed with it personally, so I don't want to commit to like how big it can get. I'll mess with that between now and in the next week just to be able to do follow-up questions on it. But yes, there is a way to adjust some of those things. UI being the easy one. You're probably
Yeah,
going to ask
as an older
controls.
gamer, we need bigger chat.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it depends on screen size. If you're having this game on like a 65-inch TV in your living room, that's very different than having it on your 27-inch monitor
It's
at
about
your
27
PC or
inch.
something. So there is a slider for UI that you can adjust based on what your situation is.
Awesome. And fully rebindable controls?
We're talking about that later. That's
sounds
that's one of the things that we're leaving for later.
Right.
But we hear people, it's on our radar. We'll have a better answer for you before launch.
Cool.
That should I just want, not just you, but any dev out there, that should always be. That should just be, along with skippable cutscenes, rebindable controls.
There you go.
100% for every game.
So let me talk about it for a second, because it becomes a little bit more complicated. That's because this is not an excuse by any means, but it becomes a point of conversation. We've shown off a lot you can do in this game, in terms of skill sets and everything. There are only a singular amount of buttons on a gamepad.
Yeah.
So then it becomes, the devs have worked very, very hard to make these button presses make sense both in and out of combat. So the button for grapple is also the button for grab out of combat. So naturally, like, as you're playing this game, your muscle memory will develop. Because of that, there are so many intertwined systems that it becomes very difficult to do just say, let's just rebind that command, because those systems are tied together.
That's one thing I was very concerned about. On a keyboard, you have infinite customization. But I imagine a lot of people, this looks like a controller game. There is some range stuff, and if you're good with range, then you'll be fine. But I'm deciding I probably want to play it on like a controller or something. I don't know. like this feels like a controller game, but like what do we have? Like, actually, let me grab my Xbox controller. Let's. I want to find out how many buttons are on an Xbox controller. So let me find that and. That's one thing that I'm worried about. To grab somebody, am I gonna have to press X A B or something like that? Am I gonna have to press combo moves? Oh, at least I know where the cable is. Nice. I'm gonna plug this in later. I got everything all just locked away because I went out of town. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Roughly 14 buttons on a controller. I might have missed one or two, but who knows? But that's 14 different things. Multiply that times... I mean, let's just... I don't know. It's like... How do you do it? Like, there's combos that are automatic, like sprinting and sliding. That's a movement. Like, that really fascinates me, how they plan on... Because you got kicks. You got punches. There's got to be a different move for kick, punch, and grab. Like, if I'm... Unless kicking and punching are the same thing and it's just random. I really hope not. I hope that you can do a kick and a punch. But, like... Actually, I think there has to be, like, a punch button and a kick button. Unless the punch button is the melee button with no weapon equipped. Like... It's like that's a possibility. Like, you'll have the grapple button, you'll have the throw button. Grapple and throw could probably be the same. I don't know.
So we're working on it. We're trying to figure out a solution, but it's not as simple as it would be in other games, which is why we're being a little hesitant about it.
And I gotta be honest, and I gotta confess that I wasn't even thinking about controllers. I really wasn't. Like when I brought up that question, I was not thinking about the limited number of buttons on a controller.
Well, Zeke, like, how do you play third-person perspective games? Like, do you play it with a gamepad? Do you play KBM? Like, how do you play?
Well, it honestly depends on the game, but more often than not, controller. And I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
and that's like it. There are a set number of buttons that you have on a controller, like. Right. So how do you account for that both in and out of combat without completely disrupting the systems that make these buttons make sense both in and out of combat? And so we're working on it. We'll have a better answer before launch, but I just want to explain that it's not as simple as, oh, just turn on the customization button.
Yeah, no, for real. Like I retract the cavalierness that I asked.
Oh, no. Well, I've been working in this space for 20 years. I've never had this problem. Like, this is a new situation, which is why I think it bears a full explanation. We're not being jerks about not allowing customization. We're trying to figure out a way to do it correctly.
Sure. Yeah.
True. Yeah, I was going to say it'd definitely be a very solid direction to make sure. A lot of times it's the things that you may not necessarily think about. Like if somebody cannot physically reach certain buttons and needs to move them so they can play the game, it's one thing for controls to be intuitive. It's another thing to be able to use them at all. So having fully rewindable can be very important for that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. But I see where you're going with your answer too. And we're already running into some similar stuff on our side with that too, where it's like the conjoined stuff. I mean, FromSoft has been characteristically never broken controls in some of those cases because it just doesn't, it's a hard thing to do. So that makes sense.
Right. And accessibility becomes this really difficult topic because if you do it halfway, then you're a jerk to the people that you're leaving out. But if you don't address it at all, then you're being a jerk to everyone. So it's a very, very sensitive topic, and we're trying to approach it mindfully. Is what I can say. We're aware, we're on it. We're trying to have the right answer for it.
That's a great position. That's a lot more than a lot of games take these days. So that's a good position to hold on it for sure. Excellent.
Cool.
No, go ahead, JB.
Well, I was going to say, with tons of questions in chat. I will say, from a community perspective, you guys have some pretty diehard fans already. Who are really
you have a
begging-
diehard community.
Yeah, you have a diehard community. Yeah,
Yeah.
which are really wanting some nitty gritty. So maybe I'll do some lightning round here in just a sec.
Yeah. Can you hear me, or did my voice?
You're
can hear you
perfectly
just
fine.
fine.
Voice
Yeah.
is perfect.
perfect.
The audio, as long as you are still broadcasting, we will hear your audio.
Yeah,
so we're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that I want to go back to what I said at the very beginning, is that this had been almost a secret. Like, it had been like this thing that was under wraps, and we were being very calculated about the little things that we were putting out for the longest time. And there's been an abrupt shift, probably January of this year. So within the last 60 days, of just transparency, of like, we're ready to talk.
Yeah.
And we're saying everything. We're ready to fully address. I don't think a lot of people and a lot of communities have experienced that. Not just the transparency, but the shift is so dramatic that it becomes almost a thing in its own. And that's, in a very positive way, that's evangelized the community around this game. Of they're making the game, their words, they're making the game that we want, and they're answering all of our questions. Which I'm glad that that's seen, because that's what we're trying to do. Because from a DNA of a studio standpoint, again, so we come from a live service heritage. So without our fans, we are nothing as a studio.
Yeah.
So that's addressing, and we're doing this for the fans, becomes incredibly important. So that's always kind of at the root of the decisions and the choices that we're making and how we're communicating. So I think that this really inspired a community that rallies around us, and it's nice to have their support, to be honest.
Yep.
Awesome.
Deke, you're going to ask
I'm
something.
still not answering all your questions, community.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and somebody pointed this out. Somebody at the beginning was like, I thought Will was going to answer every single question. He said we could ask any question. He didn't say he would answer every question.
Yes.
Those are two different things.
And also, with a game like this, and with as fervent of a community as it has, there's going to be too many questions. There's going to be such a thing
Some
as
stuff you don't want to answer. Sometimes.
Well, and also shit that's been answered, 100 times before, that keeps getting brought up because no one bothers to look to see if it's been answered.
Yeah, but the community is really good, about directing to and knowing what information is out there. The difficulty becomes when things had been said from official channels previously and are no longer accurate. I think a lot of those things have been corrected. There's a very small subset of people that still think the game's MMORPG. That's a new challenge, correcting information that, well, because it was accurate. That was the case. And so, and I think that's the beauty, is some of those things, because of that, built the systems that make this game so unique. Without that heritage, then I don't think there would be all these systems and all these things that make people say, I've never seen a game like this. That's why.
Quick, speaking of which, this is purely single player, right? Did you guys bring
Purely
any
single
of the...
player.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So there's no okay, good.
This is a purely single player game.
Very cool.
I would say that on the investor call last week, they said that they would investigate potential stuff post-launch if it made sense, but there is no multiplayer elements that are being developed at this moment. They will be investigated post-launch. There is nothing we are holding back from the launch of this game for 30, 60-day content like that. We are putting everything into launch.
Cool.
Also, I'm not sure why the Crimson Desert community has this fascination with water. I look over in YouTube. Ask him why the mech suit looks like a diving suit. Ask him.
I don't know. Like it's because bathyspheres are cool. Like I don't know.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Big Daddy influence. That's right.
Yeah.
Some
It's like-
let's do a little lightning round. I've collected a handful of
Yeah,
stuff here.
let's
that-
go.
I have a few of my own.
Yeah, that can be like yes or no answers. Dungeons. Are there caves that I can explore? How deep? How like expansive is that? Yes, no.
There's tons of hidden corners in the world.
Okay.
There's tons of stuff. I don't want to say like dungeons because that evokes certain like depth and like monsters and like there are a lot of hidden places in the world that are outside of iShot if you're just staying on the surface.
Okay. Is there like a hunting system? We saw like some camouflage elements in some of
Yeah.
the stuff that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We saw him hunting, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are different stats and different perks for different types of armor. Like that was like a ghillie suit.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that it would scare away some hunting beasts less.
Well, don't scare away my dog, Will. Please.
Quick little side question. Do you guys fully track all of the different things in the world? Like if someone wants to do like 100% where they make sure they've hit every spot, like is this the kind of thing where you can open a world map and see like 0 of 12 dungeons? Or is there any system to kind of flag the player that they're finished with an area or region?
Yes. I'm being a little cautious of that answer. It's like it's not on the map. There's no check mark that goes on the map or stuff. But in your journal and quest progression, you can see based on region, based on faction and house, whether you've done all the quests, whether or not you still have quests to unlock within that house, whether or not there's more. So there is a way to tell, but it's not like by just graying out or like checking off the region within your map.
Cool. Can you fight fully unarmed?
Sure, just unequip your sword.
Okay.
Wait, follow up. Does it work fighting unarmed in this game?
You can, yeah. There's an unarmed power stat like on your
There we
skill,
go.
like
Okay, cool.
about like how much damage it does. So you can. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it.
Okay.
Based on
Can you
the
dual wield?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a great question. We showed it off on the trailer features video 2 for the first time. So that hadn't been shown off before that.
Cool. So Steam says 135 gigs needed for the install.
Yep.
Is that suggestion? Is that file size? Like what? How big's the file size going to be for install? Have you guys said exactly? Is it 135 and that's that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because this is a seamless open world, the file size needs to be fairly large in order to have the world and to like have it not load. So a lot of that file size is the world
Okay.
itself.
Gotcha.
So that's why you're seeing that. It's because of the size and scale of the map itself.
Gotcha.
They
Can you
have
disable
wood stuff.
screen shake? Kind of going back to accessibility.
That was one of mine. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. Is there a gear transmog system to where like if you want to always
Define.
look a certain way, but you want to wear the better quote piece of gear that gives you the stats you want, can you wear that and still appear one way?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. That doesn't mean it's not in the game.
Sure.
So anything I'm not sure about, I want to caveat that. Like it's personally, I don't know. I haven't seen it. It doesn't mean that it won't be added to the game, but it just as of this point, I have not seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a major amount of importance for a minor amount of people how much fashion you can do.
Look, Will,
can do
I
a
want to
ton of that,
fucking
like-
slay if I'm out there slaying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
true.
you
More
wanna slay
importantly,
your stand. I get you.
I don't want to be a badass while looking like a clown.
So I want you to. So you're on the feature video 3 right now. There was
a die system. Yeah. If that's what
Yeah,
you're
you go to
referencing.
that. Go to that
Yeah,
screen.
yeah.
Let's just talk about that screen. There you.
There it is, right there. Yep.
That's hair dye. Go to the armor dye. It's right after this.
Okay. Yep,
Yeah.
there you go.
So pause right there. You see the different armors on the left,
Mhm.
right? So, and then parts of the individual armor.
That's
This isn't
crazy.
like this is chain it, and I don't want to be definitive and universal of like every element of every piece, but this is not just like change your shirt to blue. It's what part of the shirt, what color. Like this is a very, very detailed customization standpoint for majority of items in the game. So
Cool.
this is
I got to be
You
honest.
see-
If this system is this advanced and there's not a transmog system, I would be almost surprised. Like, good God, this is
well, that's the
yeah,
thing
this
is like
wild.
so
Also, the armor sets are gorgeous.
Be-
I have-
yeah,
Yeah, they look really good.
because of the detail of this, it like I don't know to be honest. Like I think that they want you to customize the gear that you're wearing.
Mm.
If I were to take a guess, rather than have look universally the same. But I think that's I just want to lean into the amount of like there is a ton of customization within the individual elements, like the pieces of the gear and the individual colors of it. Like there's a way to make the character your own, and that's from gear, from facial tattoos, from hairstyle, all of those things. Like make that your character. This is a set protagonist. Make them your own.
Cool. Someone was asking about the like marketing path. I'm sure there's more updates all the way up until release. You guys are kind of saving stuff so it's in the conversation week after
I
week.
don't understand why the community keeps asking that question. Why would I tell them what we're doing for marketing standpoint? And like, it's not to talk.
Well, it's like I feel like
Will, they have to start writing their Reddit posts and tweets, man.
Yeah,
like, this
no,
stuff
but,
takes
like,
time.
This is a weird thing. Like I've never like again, like I've worked in games for almost 20 years. I've never had someone ask me what I'm doing next for marketing.
it is a weird
This is,
thing.
this is
I-
what you find out. It's like, who's asking?
What'd you say, buddy? Do we have footage from PS5? Again, I'm watching a interview, so this is not actually me. I'm down here, or I guess I'm down here. I don't know. There is PS5 Pro footage. You just have to find it. I think for State of Play, I believe that there was some footage made for State of Play, for PS5 Pro, I believe. But I think the majority of what we've seen is PC. So, but I do think that they did release some PS5 footage for State of Play. So, I think if you go to their website, you could probably find a YouTube video. Actually,
Look at that.
I'll just take a look real quick. I cannot spell right now. I'm like exhausted. Crimson Desert State of Play. I guess this could be it. Let me go to the YouTube. Let me see what we got. This footage was captured on PC. Let me just look up. This was 4 months ago. 11 minutes of gameplay. I'm not sure, buddy. I'm not sure how to find it. If you just go and I maybe this is it. I don't think so. I don't know, buddy. I'm sorry. I know it's out there. I just don't know how to find it.
I work marketing at a different company.
Yeah.
This has been going
Like, why
really
would
well,
I-
and I'd like to know
Why
what
would
you're
I
doing.
allow us to be T-boned? Like,
Yeah.
there's
It is kind of
there's
like the
Mount-
evolution of a fan, I feel like, in today's day and age,
Yeah.
right? Where
like
they're
there's Mouse
keen on this
PI
stuff.
coming out on our date, which I'm gonna play as well. Like, why am I gonna tell them what I'm gonna do for marketing?
Yeah.
Just be like, I will give you your answer a little bit each day up until release.
I'll give
I
you a
mean-
letter a day.
Just watch.
And
Yeah,
also,
you
like,
can just watch
also
me work.
marketing means very different things to different people.
Sure, that's
Like,
true. Yeah.
And I think that that's where it's like, okay, these are effectively, these are community pieces we've been releasing. Like marketing is like means like putting money behind assets and like really expanding the audience. So I'm definitely not telling what we're doing there, like how we're spending our money.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a concern that we're not releasing anything else, which I'll just point to, like, we have our creator and our media event at the end of the month, that we've announced that we're doing globally in multiple regions, that like stuff will come out of that.
Cool.
So
You could also go on podcasts and talk about the game and answer a bunch of questions.
That is
No,
true. That might be
no.
a thing you can
my
do.
internet's trying to prevent me from doing that. So.
Yeah, well, that's also true. That's also true. Let's see. I like it. Are there any different dragon types, or is it just a dragon? Dragon
How much can you
customization?
customize it?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Play the game.
Can I armor
Sorry,
it?
like,
That's fair. Okay.
yeah.
Play the
Like,
game.
sorry about that. Like, but
I like someone in my chat said, "Can you play Gwent?"
Jesus
Or you
Christ.
just-
we just showed gambling. Like, there's
Yeah,
gambling
there's
in
some
this game.
gambling. There's some gambling.
Yeah.
No, I think he said. He actually did say.
a question off of my lightning round.
Yeah.
No, to be fair, I think he actually was saying, is there like, are there Gwent style games in it? But I think we just saw that earlier. You guys have like little mini games. and
Yeah,
things
there's-
like
Yeah,
that.
there's a ton of different mini games, including
Lots of gambling. Yes.
There's gambling. So there'll be fun games that this isn't Texas Hold'em or anything like that. I think that this will be games that a lot of people will experience for the first time. So
Now, here's a
Okay.
really important one. Can you romance the
I was just about to
dragons?
read that from the Steven.
Yeah.
I swear this is coming from the New Game Plus showcase that we did, where the first question I got asked was by Luality,
Yeah.
and it was can you sleep with the dragons in the game?
That's, yeah. You know, that checks
So
out.
that was already answered. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, well, I gave him a non-answer. I said I said you can form a relationship. I don't know if it's the one you want though.
Very true. Right, that's
What
some
a-
director of marketing, not of PR,
Yeah,
of
you-
marketing right
You
there.
can ride the dragons. Read into that however you want.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Whoa.
Fair enough. I'm good. That's all my. I got the answers.
Scaly's going wild right
I
now.
wanted. Yeah.
I have a few.
Okay,
I have
go
a
ahead.
few.
Yeah.
Someone asked as far as the if you get a hard copy on console, is it online only or can you play it offline?
That goes back to like the kind of the de novo question and stuff that I just don't I
Mhm.
don't know. So I don't
Okay.
feel comfortable giving a definitive answer to that one.
Okay.
I would say, and this is something that's not fully understood by communities, so I want to take a second here. Update the game. Like if you get a hard copy, please patch the game. Like in order to create hard copies of the game, like you have to print those weeks before release, and then the developers spend weeks continuing to make the game better. Please
Not like
don't
back
do
in the day.
yourself,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's
don't
no
do
longer
yourself
gold
a
disc.
disservice, like, and not update the game. So please do that. So
Okay.
with that sense, online required in order to have the best experience. But from a DRM standpoint, I just don't know the answer.
Cool.
Fishing? Question mark?
Yeah, we saw.
yeah.
We saw some.
Oh, yes.
Yep. These are a
Oh,
lot of these are
yes.
just gonna be yes or no.
Yep.
Okay. I am a person. This is a personal question that I wanted to answer. I am
You're
a
a
person
society?
who likes. I am a human man. No, I'm a person who likes the option whether to do melee or ranged combat. Like, is there like, can I just do full on range? Is there magic, like mage-ish kind of things? Maybe just even like alchemy, like fire bombs and stuff or something.
Yeah, I don't want to say like mage build again
Okay.
because of like not classes
Right,
purely, but
right.
from a skill and unlockable I want to say like tactics more and like move
Sure.
set standpoint.
Right.
You can unlock a lot of range stuff
Okay.
to make like a ranged build pretty viable. But then like if you have a boss arena that's close quarters, like you might have pigeonholed yourself a little bit there. So
Oh yes, I'm aware. That's something that I've
Yeah.
had to deal with throughout my action adventure gameplay, where you get
yeah,
in a small arena with a big guy and you're like kind of screwed. But there's ways around it. It's fine. I just wanted to know
yeah.
if you could do ranged build, and you answered my question.
You can
Um,
100% do range build. Does that carry you through everything? And should you like fully lean into that for all situations? No, variety is the spice of life.
Shut up. Anyways, let's see. Oh, stamina bar. How is stamina calculated or whatever in this game?
Sure. There's a little GUI interface. Sorry, ATM machine. There. There's a little GUI right next to you, and that's your stamina bar. You use those abyss artifacts, unlock more stamina.
Okay.
And that one right there. Yeah. And your attacks, your blocks, like your rolls, everything like kind of plays into that. This is where like the arcade fighting style references like really come into play, where it's a little bit of a dance between your aggression and your defense, managing the stamina about how you go about encounters. So boss